Kodomomuke. Kodomomuke is just a fancy Japanese word that means for kids. And yep, it's a whole anime genre made for the 3 to 10-year-old crew. But let's be real. Even if you're way past that age bracket, you probably still have some of these shows living rent-free in your head. Think Pokemon, Doraemon, Astro Boy, Yokai Watch, and even the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Back in the day, we weren't thinking, wow, what a great piece of Japanese animation. We were just glued to the screen wondering how Pikachu could be that adorable. Kodomomuke shows are built for kids, so the plots are super easy to follow, nothing too deep, just enough to keep you smiling. They're packed with bright colors, silly jokes, fun action, and those classic feel-good lessons like share your toys or don't be a jerk to your little brothers and sisters. There are actually 4 types of Kodomomuke anime. The first one is based on Western stories. Think fairy tales and classic lit. These shows borrow more from old-school American and Soviet cartoon styles. World Masterpiece Theater is the poster child here, based on Japanese stories. These go full local, with cultural references and jokes that might fly over non-Japanese viewers' heads. Doraemon is a perfect example. Jojimuke. This is an anime made for young girls like Hello Kitty and Friends. Cute overload. Game/toy based. These are the heavy hitters commercially. Think Pokemon, Beyblade, etc. Basically, if you could play with it or trade it at recess, it probably came from this line. Bottom line, Kodomomuke might be for kids, but it's a big part of what made many of us fall in love with anime in the first place. Shonen. Shonen is the face of anime for so many people. If you grew up watching anime on Cartoon Network or 4Kids, you've already met shonen anime, even if you didn't know it yet. Shonen, which means young boy in Japanese, isn't actually a genre. It's a demographic aimed at boys aged 10 to 21. What people call shonen anime is really battle shonen, which focuses on epic fights, power-ups, and training arcs. But let's be honest, everyone watches shonen. It's got that perfect mix of action, comedy, friendship, and I'm not crying, you're crying emotional moments. It hits hard, no matter your age. You find loads of action in these anime, and they typically revolve around a young male hero with a big dream. Shonen manga has been around for a very long time. The first shonen manga dates back to around 1895, as part of the shift in Japanese culture to broaden the empire and inspire the youth to achieve great things. Modern anime became popular thanks to Weekly Shonen Jump, the magazine that gave us legends like Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, and so many more. These shows defined childhoods and set the blueprint for what shonen looks like today. If you're new to anime, I say Demon Slayer is the perfect starter shonen. It's got stunning animation, a classic revenge story, and Tanjiro, who might be the nicest shonen protagonist ever, and still a beast when it's time to fight. Now, if you ask me what is the greatest shonen ever made, well, it's Hunter x Hunter. The storytelling, the power system, the world building, it's all flawless. Every arc feels like it belongs in its own legendary anime, and the Chimera Ant arc alone is better than most entire shows. But of course, Attack on Titan, Naruto, and One Piece still deserve their flowers. Shoujo anime. Shoujo is like the anime version of a teen romance movie. Shoujo, which means young girl, is another demographic for girls aged 10 to 18. If you like drama, romance, and emotional storytelling, this is what you should be watching. In shoujo anime, the main character is usually a girl who is sometimes clumsy, sometimes way too nice, and always neck-deep in romantic chaos. Although shoujo doesn't always stick straight to romance, you've also got subgenres like yaoi and yuri, which focus on same-sex love stories. Shoujo anime has been around forever, but it went mainstream fast thanks to magical girl shows like Sailor Moon. Later shows like Fruit Basket showed everyone that shoujo could also hit you right in the soul with emotional trauma. Other recommendations of shoujo include Ouran High School Host Club, a comedic romp through a prestigious school's host club, and Yona of the Dawn, a princess's journey from sheltered royalty to fierce warrior seeking to reclaim her kingdom. Action. Anime in the action genre is like a total adrenaline rush. If you want epic battles, insane fight scenes, and animation so crispy that will keep you on the edge of your seat, action anime has everybody hooked, from kindergartners practicing ninja moves at recess to grown folks out here almost dislocating their shoulders trying to throw anime punches to impress their friends. The cool thing about the action genre is that you can mix it with any other genre and it still hits, whether it's action romance, action fantasy, or action horror. But the thing is, pure action anime without story or emotion feels a little flat. Action needs other genres to carry the emotional weight, or else it's just pretty explosions with no soul. That's why all the GOAT action anime brings something extra. Attack on Titan gives you war trauma and political drama. Jujutsu Kaisen gives fantasy and adventure. Demon Slayer gives you family trauma and sword fights so beautiful you want to cry. At the end of the day, action anime equals instant hype. And if you're not standing on your couch screaming, "Let's go!" at least once per episode, let me recommend you some of action anime you should dearly watch. Dragon Ball, Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer. Comedy. Comedy anime is the genre that's supposed to make you laugh. Keyword is supposed. Because you see, comedy is crazy subjective. What makes me laugh until I cry might not even get a smirk out of you. That's why comedy anime is either a hit or it bores you to hell. No in between. A lot of comedy anime gets roasted because the jokes try way too hard and end up feeling cliche or forced, like they're begging you to laugh. Most of the humor falls into a few categories. You've got dumb dialogue jokes, where characters say the stupid things and somehow it works. Example in Sawamura from Ace of Diamond. Then there are the funny facial expressions. Those moments where the characters' faces look super weird or over the top on purpose. Even serious anime sometimes throw in crazy reactions just for laughs. And, of course, slapstick gags, where characters trip, fall, crash like that high-speed bike chase in Yowamushi Pedal. Funny enough, non-comedy anime, especially sports and action shows, actually land these jokes better than actual comedy anime. Probably because they don't try so hard to be funny. That said, even the haters will admit there are some comedy anime that actually hit differently, like Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei, which uses dark humor to roast Japanese society, or Osamatsu-san. Seinen. Seinen, which is another demographic, means youth, but don't let that fool you. In the anime and manga universe, it refers to content aimed at adult men, typically aged 18 and up. Think of it as the Netflix mature section. Seinen anime doesn't play by the kiddie rules. We're talking about complex plots, deep character development, and themes that make you question your life choices. Expect a roller coaster of emotions. Some scenes are disturbing, others hit you right in the mind and heart. These genres often tackle real-world issues, moral ambiguities, and scenarios that don't wrap up with a neat little bow. It's anime that challenges you, makes you think, and sometimes leaves you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Here are some top seinen anime to check out. Berserk, a dark fantasy that goes hand in hand with the Game of Thrones Kaguya-sama Tokyo Ghoul. Ever wondered what it's like to have a craving for human flesh? No? Well, this explores that anyway. Psycho-Pass and Vinland Saga should also be in your bucket list. Sci-fi. Way before sci-fi movies hit the mainstream, anime was already exploring robots, space travel, and tech gone wrong in the 80s and 90s. Classics like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and Cowboy Bebop didn't just make sci-fi anime popular, they're the reason sci-fi anime exists today. Fast forward to today, and while the sci-fi spotlight might have dimmed a bit, gems like Cyberpunk Edgerunners are here to remind us that this genre still slaps. Unlike Western sci-fi, which often leads into space operas and alien invasions, Japanese sci-fi anime has a unique flavor that dives deep into the human psyche, blending technology with philosophical musings. It's like they sprinkle a bit of existential dread onto those giant mechs and advanced AI. But here's the tea. Sci-fi anime isn't just about flashy tech and cool gadgets, it's a mirror reflecting our societal anxieties and aspirations, from questioning the essence of humanity in a tech-driven world to exploring the boundaries of consciousness. These narratives hit different. Slice of life. Slice of life anime is all about every day, just like the one you're living. There's usually no big plot twist or wild adventures. Instead, it focuses on regular people, going through daily routines, having small moments, and dealing with real-life stuff. It's quiet, simple, and sometimes surprisingly comforting. These stories are driven by the characters, not the action, and that's what makes them feel so real. Slice of life might be slow, but it's not boring. Characters still grow and face challenges. The whole point is to capture real-life moments, from school festivals and homework stress to them experiencing weird neighbors and awkward first crushes. K-On! Is a good example of slice-of-life anime. The anime starts off with one of the main characters, Yui. She starts off as a freshman in high school and is having a little trouble deciding what club to join. She decides on the Light Music Club, thinking it's just a light club with light music, but soon realizes that there's more to be put in. It's anime's version of a comfort show, and some of y'all sleep on it just because there's no non-stop fighting or explosions. The real magic is the genre fuses with everything. You want slice of life plus comedy? Watch Lucky Star and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. What about slice of life plus drama? Say hello to March Comes In Like a Lion. Want straight cozy vibes? Watch Non Non Biori, where country kids just exist in HD. Let's be honest, sometimes we just need a break from all the intense battles and crazy plot twists. Slice of life anime is self-care, like drinking tea in a hoodie while it rains outside. Fantasy. This genre is massive. It covers shonen fantasy like Hunter x Hunter and Fullmetal Alchemist, but also jumps into high fantasy like Frieren, dark fantasy like Berserk, and even historical fantasy like Demon Slayer or Inuyasha. The crazy thing is, Western fantasy usually sticks to the same formula: knights, castles, and the one messy-looking wizard that doesn't shave his long beard. But anime fantasy? It pulls inspiration from everywhere. It takes ideas from Japanese folklore, myths, video games, and even the most random, dreamlike stuff. It's like a big mix of everything, and somehow it always works. What makes anime fantasy so good is that there are no rules. You want giant robots in a medieval world? Sure. A talking frog who's the ruler of the universe? Why not? It's all about wild creativity and pure imagination, which is why fantasy anime is secretly one of the most creative genres out there. Some fantasy anime I would recommend are like Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Made in Abyss, and The Promised Neverland. Fantasy anime equals no rules, just vibes. That's why we eat it up every time. Isekai. Isekai is Japanese for another world. In this genre, a character is put in an unfamiliar world and has to learn how to survive. This can happen through portals or summoning rituals. Most often, the character is transported to a fantasy or virtual world of some kind of parallel universe as a chosen hero or overpowered warrior. But lately, some series have been flipping the script on this whole setup by making the character a villain, an inanimate object, or some unimportant character. Isekai can mix with all kinds of genres, like comedy and The Devil is a Part-Timer, drama in Rising of the Shield Hero, action in Drifters, and even romance in The Vision of Escaflowne. Even though people talk about isekai a lot now, it's actually been around for a long time. One of the first isekai anime was Aura Battler Dubain, way back in 1983. Fast forward to modern times, and isekai has leveled up big time to some of my favorite isekai, like Mushoku Tensei, Re, Zero, and That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This video was powered by zero sleep, too much caffeine, and way too much reading and researching. So if you spot a mistake or maybe I missed your personal favorite anime, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.